Hi, this is Enki35, and I am going to make this response to Truthiracy's Enki35 made Truthiracy an angry, bully, rambling rantor. Now, I'm going to play parts of this video, and this is specifically to you, Christopher. And I'm going to address some of the things that you're saying in here, and also your comments. You're saying that you are 100% correct that Marduk equals the solar calf. She said he is not, because his name was Asher. Rolling on the floor laughing, Asher equaled the winged solar bull calf of the sun. Ha ha ha. Well, I never said he was Asher. Ever. Because, first of all, to address this, Asher was a god that was made for the Assyrian Empire, and he was put in the place as the ranking as the high god over the Assyrians, while Marduk was the high god over the Babylonians. And the reason why they did that was because they were trying to raise their god above the god of Babylon, because it's called propaganda, all right? But so Asher would actually be equated as Enlil. And I'm going to show in a few minutes, and I'm going to do a thorough look into what you're saying, because I'm going to show the people that what I'm doing and what you think I'm doing is illogical. The way you're talking about me, and you're trying to discredit me and calling me names and all this stuff, and it's pretty bad. But I want to address some things, because I actually laughed at this video. I thought it was hilarious the way you were acting. And but no, I am saying no, I did not call him Asher at all, because Marduk is not Enlil. And even though it says that he was replaced by Enlil, does not mean he is Enlil either. That is because Enlil is not Marduk, because Marduk is the son of Enki, and Enlil is not the son of Enki. Okay? So this, and when you were showing your little graph, which I'll show in a minute up here after I listen to all your funny comedy, the Asher that you are bringing up in the Assyrian Empire, the reason why I read, which you think is retarded, you pretty much told all of your subscribers that anyone, practically anyone that reads is a retard. Anyone that reads books. So, which is completely illogical. And so does that mean, Christopher, that when someone buys your book, that they might as well just forget buying it because it's stupid to read books? It's retarded. So is that why, since you don't read books and you said you never ever read books, is that why you don't have any sources to put in there? Because everything that you're talking about with these gods is what you actually had to read about, because otherwise how did you know? Did you dream them? Did you dream up these gods? Did they come to you in visions for you to, talk about the things that you talk about? Did you read the Epic of Gilgamesh? Did you read the things that you speak of? Because you're saying that reading is retarded. So why even write a book? It's retarded, right? Anyway, I'm going to get started here. Let's listen what you did and how you cut my video up, and I'm going to explain piece by piece your video, okay? And the reason why I'm making this video is because Christopher Lord a few days ago had come over to my channel. Now, I don't know why. Now, you clipped my video. But what I'm saying here, so you understand, if you can get it through your head, when you first made a comment to me, Christopher, you came over to my channel under this video called "The Hebrew God of the Bible is Not the Bull God," and you had made a comment. I didn't know you had commented. That's what I was saying. And I had no way to comment back to you. But This video right here, the one that is the initial video, which you said you're going to tear me a new one on this one, okay? Well, you haven't even addressed this at all. In this whole time, you've turned this into Marduk. And what I was saying is that this guy, Drew C101 or whatever the heck he's called, had come over to me 3 years ago to my channel. And he was saying to me, he was talking to me about your stuff on my channel because you had blocked me 3.5 years ago. So when I made this in response to him. And I was showing him that the gods that he was talking about, which is what you talk about, was addressed in the Bible, in 1 Kings and 2 Kings, and in these verses that I have on this video. These are things you have not addressed in this whole argument. You turn this into Marduk. That is not what I was talking about in here. What you don't understand about what I'm doing is I am doing comparisons. So if I'm doing comparisons, I have to know what it is that the empires were doing. And the only way I'm going to be able to do that, Christopher, is to read about the empires. And if I read about the empires, I'm going to be able to decipher when they were written by reading about it, and also by listening to what the scholars are saying about the times. And that way I can compare what I see as well when I am researching to be able to talk about it. Now, because I'm reading does not mean I'm plagiarizing, because I'm using works. This is how you write a book. If this is what you're needing, you can quote the scholars in your book and then give your point of what you're talking about as well, and how you see it relates to stuff, just like I do in my videos. Like you had mentioned some stuff. I'm jumping ahead of myself, but let me go ahead. Let me find the part where you were showing something about what I wrote about.
To the fucking question that we're talking.
Oh my God. Listen how you're talking to me. Where's it at? Don't fall asleep, Christopher. Where's the Cyrus cylinder sill? You put the Cyrus cylinder sill in this video right here. And this is what you're saying. Let me go back a little bit. Or cat. Okay. You're making fun of the fact that I said that Marduk, I do not agree with the name of Amar-Utu, meaning bull calf of the sun god Utu. Now, I explained this in another video, and you're still going on about this. There are other scholars that do not agree with the name, the etymology of the name. It says right here that the etymology of the name Marduk is conjectured, which means speculated, guessed. It's not concrete. They think because the name Marduk is unknown, Marduk. Okay? That's what I'm saying. So it says, as derived from Amar-Utu, the bull calf of the sun god Utu. Now, if you want to say that you agree that with the scholars that believe that this is the best guess for his name, then that's fine. I go by the other scholars, like Thorkel Jacobson, who states that it means the son of the storm, which makes more sense to me because even in your own article on the Jewish library, it states that, and this is the part that you cut out, actually, in your video, that it says Marduk was never a solar deity. All right? You're the one who is not understanding what I'm telling you. You're making this like a big ordeal and trying to demean me and my integrity because I read. You're calling me a retard because I read. But anyway, I'm going to address this really quick on the Cyrus cylinder cell so you understand why it's important to read and understand history.
And to top it all off, you actually have the nerve to place a copyright strike on the video I made?
Oh, wait a minute. I never placed any copyright strike on the video that you made, and that's why you told me you did not place a copyright. Good. Sorry, I assumed you did. Now, why would you even make an assumption and put that in a video to slander me, to act like I'm trying to harm your channel? You're the one trying to harm my channel, Christopher. And you said this, you did not place a copyright. Good. So why would you accuse me of it in the first place? Because what you're doing is you're manipulating your viewers to hate me and to not listen to my channel. You are putting my channel down because I am doing comparisons, and yes, I am reading so I can show the people that there's incorrect things in the Bible and there's also correct things in the Bible. And I'm showing the dates and times. You don't think that it's smart to read books. You said it yourself, and I'm going to show that in a minute about how you think it's retarded to read books. But let's get back to this part. And no, I did not place a copyright strike on your channel. Jeez.
Where I just used the clip to show you where you're fucking wrong?
Oh my God. Christopher, why are you talking to me like that?
And you're such a cheeseball that you have to do something like that? It has nothing to do with what we're talking about.
So you are calling me names when I didn't even do anything like that. Why? See how you're putting me down, and you're trying to make your viewers hate me, and you're wanting them to think that you're just so great and that I'm just this stupid person. You're calling me a cheeseball and all this stuff off of a total lie. Your lie, not mine. This is your lies. You're the one who's doing this to me. I can't even believe you're acting like this, actually. But anyway, let's listen.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it is unbelievable, actually.
So, Hammurabi.
And I'm the one who told you it was during the time of Hammurabi. So you go ahead and you think this because you don't read. You said it yourself. Hammurabi founded an empire based in Babylon in the mid-18th century BC, after which Marduk replaced Enlil as the chief god in the south. In the north, Ashur absorbed Enlil's wife Ninlil. See, Ashur is Enlil. Marduk replaced Enlil as the Most High God because he was given the position in the rank of the 50 names. He is the one who is the highest God, even over Enlil. That's right, even over Enlil. He is not Enlil, but the powers, all the powers of every god, everything was put into Marduk because he is the Most High God. That doesn't mean he's the same God. It just means that their functions and what he has the power over them. He is the begetter of the gods. This is what this means. So he is not Enlil. Enlil is Ashur. Enlil is Ashur. He transferred over to the empire of Assyria. So this is why I read and I compare what they're doing. You know that Marduk is not Enlil because Enlil is not Enki's son, is he? No, he's not. Anyway, let's move on. I want to get to the cylinder sill you put up.
Took over, and Marduk replaced Enlil.
Oh my gosh, listen how you talk. You are so unprofessional.
Just as in the Sargon version of the Enuma Elish, Marduk is not mentioned, it's Ashur of Anshar. So it's just like the Cyrus sill.
Okay, let's listen to you talk about what I put out years ago.
Where it states that, or the Bible states rather, that he gave credit to Yahweh, or was motivated by Yahweh. But the cylinder seal says that Cyrus gave credit to Marduk.
That's right. And I'll tell you why. Let's go back here. Now, years ago, I put out a video called Marduk, the god of Hammurabi, Cyrus, and the Israelites, question mark. And in that video that I put out, that you're mocking me, that I'm dumb, I'm stupid, I don't know what I'm talking about, but here you are mentioning what I put out years ago, all right? And the reason why I was going through, and the video that you put up in here about me talking about the book of Daniel, it all has to do with this. all has to do with the comparisons. So let me explain something about Cyrus to you, and the kingdoms at that time. I had put in that video that Ezra, that is written in the book, that was written in 450 BCE by the Jewish people. This is after the fact of Babylon. And this is what I explained, the dates and the times when these things were written. And I wrote about Isaiah in this, that Isaiah also mentions Marduk, except they have him as Yahweh or Yod-Heh-Vah-Heh, the power, because that's the total equal power, the creator. So I was showing in the Cyrus cylinder seal that Cyrus does give credit to Marduk, and Marduk did walk in like a friend and companion by his side, and it says so. And so the reason why I was discussing the things in the video that you put up of me where you're snoring and acting like it was so boring because reading is retarded, I was explaining that the king at the time, Nabonidus, which in the Bible it states it's Nebuchadnezzar. I was showing that it wasn't Nebuchadnezzar that was the king at that time. It was actually Nabonidus, and his son was Belshazzar. And the reason why that's important for people to know is because it shows a conflict of the dates. And I end up showing the dates that when Daniel was actually really written, which was in 167 and 164 BCE, which had to do with Antiochus IV of Epiphanes. And it had to do with his kingdom because of what they were stating in the book of Daniel about the four empires and how they were talking about the statue. Okay? So I go on to explain that Nabonidus, who is an Assyrian that came and usurped the throne of Nebuchadnezzar, because he is an Assyrian. He was from Assyria. His mother was the high priestess of the moon god Sin in the temple at Haran. And I ended up discussing briefly about Nabonidus. And so he has a seal where he's talking about that he had feared Marduk's command. And the reason why this is important for people to understand is because of the fact that in the Bible it states in the book of Daniel that Nebuchadnezzar was supposed to have been sent off and crawled in the wilderness and all this other stuff. Nebuchadnezzar never did that. Nebuchadnezzar was dead when Belshazzar was in the kingdom with his father Nabonidus, or Nabu-Naid. And so Cyrus ends up being sent in because Nabu-Naid had put away with the worship of Marduk and was worshiping the moon god Sin. And so when I'm correlating this with the Bible and the biblical correlation of how Marduk is the one who sent in Cyrus, I am comparing it with the biblical tale because this is when the Jews were actually in exile when they wrote this stuff. And so maybe you don't understand what I'm doing, which obviously you don't, and you think I'm retarded and I don't know what I'm doing because I read books and I read history and I've read thousands of books, and you think that that's stupid. That's fine, you can think that's stupid. But, you know, anybody with intelligence knows that saying something like that is just illogical. It's it's dumb, actually. But, so I put this out. And that's why in that series, I was talking about the comparisons. And yes, I do pull out what I write, and I do pull out the book, because I want to show why it compares and what it has to do with these gods of the ancient empire. Now, you don't know what I'm doing. You don't know what my comparisons are, because it's obvious you don't comprehend what I'm saying. So once again, Marduk is not a solar deity. He's the universe. Marduk is the one who created the universe according to the Enumalish. And when you show down here that I said Asher, no, I did not call him Asher. I called him Asaluhi. Asaluhi, or Asaludu. Okay? Now, that was the name from the temples of Eridu in the Asagala. And that's the house of the lofty head. And you're trying to act like I don't know what I'm talking about because you just want to make fun of people that believe in God or people that don't believe what you're saying. It doesn't matter whether you believe or you don't believe. That's not what I'm doing on my channel. I don't proselytize people on my channel to have a belief in anything. I'm just showing them the comparisons and what the cultures of these empires were talking about with these gods and what they meant. I don't say it the way you say it. I'm not comparing it the way you compare it. My work is completely different than what you're doing. But when it came down to what I was stating in my original, the reason for all of this obviously starting had nothing to do with Marduk, had nothing to do with the bull calf of the sun. It had to do with the Hebrew God of the Bible is not Baal, and he's not Moloch, and he is not those gods that you are literally saying he is. I mean, I don't understand why you're doing this, and it's wrong. You're really mean. You are a hateful person, and the way you talk to women, it only shows that you're misogynistic because you're trying to put me down and all this stuff. But let's listen to how you say that it is retarded to read books. So that means that the people that buy your book are retarded as well, because why read books, right? Bible, I have nothing to do with it.
What in the hell are you talking about?
I'm talking about the fact that I have nothing to do with what you're doing with your bull god. That's what I'm talking about.
Reasonable doubt. I'm going to prove without question, with thousands of facts.
Thousands of facts? And where are you going to get those thousands of facts, Christopher, after you said that you don't ever read and that you got this all on your own? Where are you going to get these thousands of facts? Okay, it doesn't matter about your thousands of facts. What are you in competition with? My research? You don't even know the extent of my research. You're trying to argue with me about my comparisons. Why are you trying to argue with me about my comparisons when you don't even go into the depth of the empire or the dates or anything? And I know you're probably just like doing this so you can get some information out of me, so I'll start giving you sources or something. I don't know. But let's see those thousands, because you said to your own subscribers in your forum that you aren't going to be putting out sources in your first book. So when you put out sources in your second book, does that mean you're going to be giving sources of scholars? Does that mean that you're going to have to put sources of how you attain this knowledge that you say is yours and yours alone? Just because you're using the names of these gods and stuff does not mean it is just your knowledge solely. It isn't. Maybe the way you're using the suffixes, it is. Great. Sorry about that. I ended up getting company. So anyway, I wanted to finish where he's saying it's retarded to read books.
So what did I do? I fucking listed a bunch of sources and showed that you're fucking lame, you're wrong.
I'm lame, why? Because you listed a bunch of sources that say that you believe that he's the bull calf of the sun, when in your own source that you listed, you actually omitted a part and actually erased this part in the source that anybody can look at and see that you did this, and where it states that Marduk was never a solar deity. Why would you do that? That's pretty convenient, don't you think, to erase what the scholar was saying about Marduk not being a solar deity? Never was a solar deity.
And what do? You don't act like a mature adult and say, wow, you know what, I was wrong about that, but really this, that, and the other thing. No, what do? You run away like a little biatch.
No, I don't run away like a little biatch like you, okay? You're just running your mouth and cussing and calling me names and using ad hominems to make it seem like I'm like a lesser person because you do it. And it just makes you look bad, actually, Christopher. It makes you look very immature. You're telling me I need to have an adult conversation, but listen how you talk.
You talk shit, you make videos.
You talk shit and you make videos. Really, Christopher?
You tease, you laugh.
I tease and I laugh. Do you know how many times you've laughed at me in this video? Do you know how many times you have made fun of me and you're saying I'm teasing you? How am I teasing you? Because I laughed at the Bible? I think that is funny. I told you I thought it was funny. So I don't understand why that's supposed to be a big deal. How does that hurt your feelings that I laughed about the word Bible because you're using homophones to try to change the BLE and the suffix of the English language into the word bull? I mean, you can do that, but that doesn't mean that every single word that ends with BLE is bull, no matter what you do. I mean, sure, you got some people believing that everything is a bull. So when you say the word capable, you're capable of understanding this, right? So when you say capable, does that mean that the bull has a cape wrapped around it? Is that what that means, capable? Or what does capable mean? Because see, you're inserting this into people's mind to make them think that the words actually don't mean what they mean. But whatever, I don't care. You're angry with me for some weird reason.
You can't even face the issue and handle it like an adult.
I can't face the issue and handle it like an adult when you are cursing at me. Okay.
And just simply stick to the facts.
I have stuck to the facts. I told you I disagree with him being the bull calf of the stone because he is called by the other scholars, which I admire greatly, which is Thurkel Jacobson, that he is the bull calf of, I mean, he's not the bull calf, he's the son of the storm.